you can tell a little about the journey from IIT Madras, an engineer there, to Swiggy's AVP of Design.
The best thing that I learned at IIT is the confidence that I can learn anything if I have the right mindset and I put the right efforts. Designing as a hobby, I was never sure of being a designer. Design was never in the plan. I got into that job and now I've been successfully doing it for 9 years. Haven't got bored of it. If I look at it, it's one of the best distribution channels, better than any other platform that is present.
How much does content creation pay for you now?
The money that I make from content creation hasn't exceeded my job salary yet. My key revenue streams are...
You're the AVP of Design in a company like Swiggy. Have you had youngsters come up to you and say, "Sir, will AI take away my job?"
From a money point of view, I think one collab that I did where I got a 7-figure amount.
Is income from content creation risky or unstable even after you've become successful?
But to be specific about content creation, the amount of money that you can make potentially is so large.
What if you could go from engineering at IIT Madras to leading design at one of India's biggest tech companies, all while also building a content brand that teaches design to thousands out there? That's exactly what our guest today has done. Welcome to Creators Cashflow, the show where we uncover how creators build and monetize their skills beyond traditional paths. My name is Korak Roy, and today's guest has led design for Swiggy while delivering over hundreds of talks, workshops, and building a thriving creative brand, all without leaving his day job. In this conversation, he's going to unpack how he transitioned from engineer to designer, how COVID accelerated his online presence, and the moment LinkedIn backed his creative journey, and exactly how he balances his leadership role with content creation. We'll also talk about his content monetization model, why he's kept his job by his own choice, and how he sees the future of creative professionals. Let's welcome our guest for today, the very special Saptarshi Prakash. Sapta, welcome. How are you doing, man?
Thank you. It's a great being here. I'm hoping to have a great conversation with you today.
We are very excited for that as well. You know, when I was told that I'll be doing a podcast with you, I was excited because you've had an incredible journey. And you've had and now he's just playing the modesty card.
Okay.
Incredible journey, and an incredible journey being a proper all-rounder. So
those are some heavy words.
Just tell me a little as how being an industry leader and then a content creator, how did this bit start?
Well, this bit started, I think by now you've figured out I'm a talkative guy. I like to talk, right? So there was some time, when I started working professionally as a designer, somewhere in the second year of my job, I got my first opportunity to deliver a design talk. Luckily, I was nominated by one of the prominent design leaders of the industry, so I got to speak at a very big event.
This was the second year of the career?
Second year of my design job.
Which year was that?
It was 2017 or 18. 2017. Yeah,
cool.
It was 2017. And honestly, I didn't have any place to be in that stage. It was too big a place for me. But then I got to be there and I was like, okay, I got this opportunity. I'm going to nail it. And I loved speaking. I did it before in school, like we all do, prepared speeches, extempore speeches and all of them. So I had a bit of practice. I was like, okay, let's build some nice slides. Let's tell some nice stories. And the talk was on motion design. So I delivered the talk and then I realized that one thing leads to another in this industry, right? I started getting approached by a lot of people on LinkedIn, Twitter and all that. Hey, we have this event. Would you deliver a talk on this topic, that topic, or would you come and train our designers, this company, that college, and so on? One thing led to another, and suddenly I had over 30, 40 talks on my kitty, right? So this is what happened, but then everything came to a halt during COVID because all the offline things were stopped. But then people said that, you should start doing these webinars or open up a YouTube channel. I was like, no, stage is my place. I interact with people when I actually have the crowd in front of me. It gives me the motivation. Doing it in front of camera is no fun. But then I said yes. I said yes to one of the webinars. And that's when I understood the power of online. Offline talks would be attended by 100, 200 people maximum. That first webinar was attended by over 900 people from across the world. Of course, most of them were Indians, but we did have people from other countries as well. And I realized that whatever I could do on a physical stage, I could do 95% of that even over Zoom, right? I was interacting with people. I was running polls. I was asking people to raise hand and ask questions and participate in the kind of discussions that we were having. That gave me confidence. And again, webinar also, one thing led to another. And over no time, every weekend I was in some or the other webinar. That gave me confidence for the very first time that I should do something online, right? So yeah, I had a camera, like a designer, everyone has a camera. So I had one. I started recording, filming myself, and I set up my YouTube channel. People have been asking me for a very long time, but this was the time when I felt that yes, maybe I should do. We were working from home. I had a bit of time as well. I was like, okay, let's do it. So that's literally how I began. Because my offline talks were not happening, I got confidence in online, and I started with YouTube.
Lovely. If, in short, you can tell a little about the journey from IIT Madras, an engineer there, to Swiggy's AVP of Design.
Everyone wants to be an engineer in India, right?
So and then they quit and then become a chef,
right,
or an actor or a cricketer.
Or a designer.
Or a designer.
Yeah, so exactly this, right? So the dream of any middle class Indian is that you want to do something good. That's what your parents want. That's what you want. Do have a better life than what your parents had, and so on. And one of the easiest way that people see is get into engineering, because you will have a job by the end of your third or fourth year and you're sorted in life, right? Like a 16-year-old couldn't think beyond that. And when it comes to engineering, IITs is one of the prominent places everyone aspires to go. And luckily I managed to crack the entrance exam and I was in IIT. And all that I knew back then before engineering was that I loved using computers, and I would do random stuff with computer. I would use Photoshop. So actually the design thing was embedded there, when I started using some of those, play around with the computer that I had at home. So my main motivation to be an engineer was to work on something where I get to use the computer. But then somewhere in engineering, I realized that I loved it. I loved engineering, but I couldn't see myself doing it all my life, right? I felt I could do things more than engineering. And that's when I explored many other things. I thought that I would be a great manager, which I believe I was true, because I would like to believe I'm a good manager today. I hope my teams are watching this. So I thought, I would just take the usual route that people do in IITs, go ahead and go to some IIMs and all, just do an MBA and, climb the corporate ladder. I thought about that. But then I also picked up designing as a hobby in college, right? So I learned a lot of things. I did a few things, but then I never knew that this would be my career. In fact, I sat for my campus placements and I got into a managerial job because I thought, I would be a manager. And I also wrote CAT. I got called for 1 or 2 IIMs as well, but they were not the top 3, so I never bothered going. So yeah, this is how it happened, right? So it was always a hobby. But then one day I got an opportunity from another senior of my college who also felt very much like me, but then he was a little more sure of being a designer. I was never sure of being a designer. Design was never in the plan. So I thought when this senior gave me a call, and he was working for this company called Housing, which was a big thing back then in
Housing.com.
Yes, Housing.com. They were in fact one of the first companies that revolutionized the way Indian companies designed. So I got an opportunity to work there. My first instance was I never studied design. How can I go and work in a team where people are like some of the best in India, if not the world? Right? They have studied design probably from good colleges. I don't stand a chance. Do I really have a space there? But my senior, he kind of convinced me that, hey, you are a smart guy. You have technical knowledge because you're an engineer. And then graphic design was your hobby back in college. You were the one who designed t-shirts and posters and all. So all that you need to do is just marry these two things. That's nothing but product design is. That's literally how I started. I said, okay, let's do it. I got into that job and yep, now I've been successfully doing it for 9 years. Haven't got bored of it.
Lovely. Absolutely amazing. Just the kind of energy you have. I'm pretty sure you mentioned your team members. I'm pretty sure they aren't bored of it either.
I'd like to believe so. No one's going to say on my face though.
So the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program actually paid you to build content. And that was initial years of your content creation, if I'm not wrong. So tell a little, how did that happen?
So actually, it happened somewhere in between.
Okay.
When I said that I started with YouTube, that was sometime in 2020. Mm-hmm. And LeCap or LinkedIn Creator Accelerator program happened sometime in 2022, okay, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay. And also when I started with YouTube, I wasn't all that consistent. I was like, okay, once a while I feel like I just shoot a video and I put it out there, right? But so LinkedIn story is also very interesting. It's something. When I was in college, I discovered this place called LinkedIn, right? So our college seniors would say, we would ask them, hey, what is this LinkedIn? Why are people there? They said that, hey, it's just like Facebook, but for corporate people. So it's a good place. Just keep accepting requests. I'm like, okay, sure. Like, no one did anything on LinkedIn. So we would just keep getting those connection requests from the college people, and we would just keep accepting, did nothing else on the platform.
Legit.
Right? I didn't understand the power of the platform then. Because this is by far one of the largest network of professionals in the world.
Absolutely.
And today, from a content creator's point of view, if I look at it, it's one of the best distribution channel. Better than any other platform that is present. Right?
Can you elaborate a little on that?
What I mean is, you don't need to have large number of followers for a piece of content to reach a large number of audience. If your content has the potential, it kind of works like a network effect. If you see it, you interact with it, you read it, you like it, people who are connected with you would see it, and it just kind of spreads. So if your content has potential, if it is good, it is going to reach a large number of people. So the cold start problem that people usually talk about is relatively lesser on LinkedIn. But the thing being, your content has to be good, right? So I started writing on LinkedIn when I started my design job and all. I thought, okay, I just kept writing about some design choices that I did and some work that I did and all, right? And eventually that got into my storytelling mode. I started telling stories, real thing that happened in my work or some discussion that I had with a colleague and how it went. And I feel I did a decent enough job to put it out in a way that people would want to read it all the way to the end. So it happened, but I wasn't all that consistent. Then one fine day, someone from LinkedIn reached out to me and they said that, hey, we are doing this program where we are handpicking some creators from across India and we are enabling them to create more content on LinkedIn. And that was also the time they were trying to promote videos.
Right.
So they actually wanted me to create video content on LinkedIn. Right? And as a part of this program, so they said, okay, we are including you in this program. And as a part of this, they also gave us a decent amount of money. That was the first time, of course, I kept doing it for LinkedIn. It went on for a couple of weeks. I don't exactly remember. So when that money came, I was like, okay, this money came because I was creating content. Let me invest it back into content creation. So that was the first time I actually thought that let me hire a strategist or a writer who could help me, brainstorm on some of these ideas and write some scripts for me. Okay, let's hire an editor because previously I was doing everything. So that was the first time when I thought that, okay, let's do it. So that definitely was one of the turning points in my career because, see, my family had always been into service. You do a job, you get your salary. That's about it. We don't understand what business is all that much. But this was the first time I realized that if I invest certain amount of money, I can actually make back a lot more money.
Right.
Than what I could if I had not invested that money. I understood the real meaning of business from that money that I made from LeCap. And sure, today I work with various agencies and all who help me in various aspects of my content creation. But yeah, the origin was that.
In short, if you can tell us, because up until this point, you were shooting yourself, you were editing the videos yourself, you had your entire corporate workaday life going on as well, you had the talks going on as well. How did you manage all of that? How many hours?
I slept less. My health was taking a toll, definitely. But it's just that when you love something all that much, physically your body gets tired, but it's good for your mental health. So you can work long hours. Your eyes might be paining. But at the end of the day, when you actually make a successful video, you shoot it the way you want, you edit it the way you want, it's very good for your mental health because you feel so good when you see that going out. So, I think that satisfaction kind of kept me going. But then, your physical body can only take up so much. So good that I realized it sooner. And that's how I would say I managed. I didn't do a lot of other things, right? I would eat, sleep, do my Swiggy work. Didn't really watch Netflix, TV or anything. I was just, this content creation was the entertainment bit in my life. And of course, I was already married by then. So I'd like to believe my wife supported me a lot.
How sweet.
Yeah, because I didn't spend a lot of time with her that I should have ideally during those days. So
a lot of people talk about this as well, that most of the time content creators who were, say, maybe engineers before, in the corporate world before, they have to quit that life and then dive hands-on deep into content creation. You specifically decided not to do that. You still manage both, handle both very successfully. What was the cause behind that?
When people ask me this, I say that I was from electrical engineering at IIT. The second best thing I learned at IIT is electrical engineering. The best thing that I learned at IIT is the confidence that I can learn anything if I have the right mindset and I put the right efforts. That level of confidence and mindset has changed a lot of things that I do and believe in my life. Right? So yes, that's why you would see, maybe people don't articulate it this way. That's why you will see engineers able to do a lot of things because, we we thrive in an engineering college, the figuring out culture.
Right.
Nothing is ever spoon fed to you, no matter which college you are in, IIT or not, right? So that trains all of us.
Is income from content creation risky or unstable even after you've become successful?
Yes, it is. It is pretty risky. See, it's just like running a business. You don't have a stable income every month or every year. Of course, I don't mean the Reliance and the Tatas of the world. They might have a very different story. But any other business, I'm not talking very small business as well, it is always unstable. But the thing is, you can always plan around it. And to be specific about content creation, the amount of money that you can make potentially is so large that even if you do it for a relatively shorter amount of time, maybe a few years, if you plan it right, you could be sorted for life. So that's a good thing about content creation, which I'm not sure if it is true for every other kinds of business. So yeah, the key lies in discipline. When you have a lot of money coming in, you should be disciplined enough to know that you'll have to save for time when you don't make enough money. And there could be phases as well, because the algorithms might go against you. You may not get a lot of views and likes and followership. And then, the brands may not want to work with you or sponsor you, because for them it is about marketing. So if you plan it right, the volume of money that you can make from content creation is actually enough to sustain you. But having said that, yes, it is risky because it is just like a business. Your money is never consistent. Some month you make a lot, some month you may not make all that much. There are seasons.
You mentioned that in some months you don't make that much. You gave your own example as well. I want to ask you, that was a time and this is the time. How much does content creation pay for you now?
Indulgences. See, it's definitely a meaningful sum of money which brings a smile to my face.
Such a politically correct way to answer that question.
Okay, I could tell you one thing, right? I think you also need to understand that I hold a prominent position in a fairly big company. So the income that I make, the money that I make from content creation hasn't exceeded my job salary yet.
Now everybody is with their calculators and
yeah. Again, I'm calling out. I hold a prominent position in the industry. Now talking about indulgences, well, I could have afforded those indulgences even without creating content. But then when I have that additional money coming in, I just feel a little more confident. Okay, maybe that car or, that occasional upgrade to business class or some fancy hotel and stuff. So, I don't really have to think about all that much. But having said that, I'm very particular about not inflating my lifestyle, because I know that once that happens, no matter how much money you make, you're going to end up poor. So yeah, I'm a little disciplined that way.
2 questions, quick questions, and I want quick answers. What are your key revenue streams right now from content creation?
My key revenue streams are, of course, brand deals. I promote different brands that I connect with. I'm choosy in that way on Instagram, on YouTube, and also on LinkedIn. And then there are offline stuff that I do. There are brands that invite me to attend their events and, maybe interview a few people, or some companies that invite me to come and train their teams or, teach them about design thinking or AI and stuff like that. So that's another stream as well. I also do online consultations. People can actually, book a slot with me, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or even more than that, where people can come and get consulted. And I have a range of people coming to me. Could be aspiring designers all the way up to startup founders who's trying to set up a process in their company, or they want me to review and critique some of their products that they have built. So yeah, these are some of the main revenues that I make. Of course, goes without saying, there's also YouTube ad revenue. But then, when you live in a country like India where the ad rates are really less, it's minuscule compared to what you make from the rest of the streams.
I want to ask you, say, what are 1 or 2 of the biggest mistakes that you see aspiring content creators make when they're trying to monetize their skill sets?
I think they try to be an expert too early in their life. That shouldn't be done, because when someone tries to fake it, it is understood and it affects their credibility. So from a monetization point of view, I would say they shouldn't project themselves as somebody they are not, because being genuine is something everyone likes, and it does affect their monetization skills. For example, I see a lot of people right out of college. They're probably doing okay in content creation. They have gathered some decent number of followers, but they project themselves as coach. Right? Coach of what? Sure, you can speak about a lot of things, but then everyone knows that, you are not really a coach of whatever topic you might be speaking about, right? So brands find it hard to digest that this kid from college is a coach. Instead, if they actually say that, hey, I'm a college student, I'm not trying to be anybody else, and my content is about my life or what I'm learning as a student or what I'm doing, the side project that I'm doing, I think that's much more natural. Brands would love to collaborate with that for any product where the target audience are students.
You know, your answer reminds me of something that an absolute OG entrepreneur said to me once. I was doing a podcast with Mr. Deep Kalra. He's the founder of Make My Trip.
Yes.
OG entrepreneur before entrepreneurship was cool.
Yes.
Yeah. And he had said that the 80s and 90s was the trend, be it in US or India, where you had to be good in multiple things. Now is the trend where you have to be the master of one thing. You have to have specialization in one thing, and that is enough, not multiple things. This is the time where you need to be the specialization in one thing. So I think your answer pretty much speaks about that itself.
True, but I have a slightly different view on this. I do believe that you need to be specialist or really good at one thing, but I extend it that you need to be good at multiple things and then really good at one or two things, because I think that's much better than just being good at one. Otherwise, jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing can also happen. So be decently good at almost everything, then really good at one or two things is what I personally believe in.
Specialization in that one thing.
Yes, one or two things, maybe not just one.
All right, all-rounder speaking. All right, if you had to start your content creation journey now, no following, same skill set, what's going to be the 90-day plan?
Question, so do people know me who I am or people do not know me?
No following.
No following. Sure. What would be a 90-day strategy, right? I think I'm going to pick up two platforms, LinkedIn and Instagram, because their distribution channels are much better. LinkedIn, I think I already mentioned why the distribution channel is better. And Instagram, because it's very catchy and you can gain a lot of growth in terms of followers overnight.
Right.
No other platform gives that, right? If one reel goes viral. And then I would have a strategy to post videos on Instagram, at least 4 videos every week consistently. And I will do it for 50 or 100 pieces of content. And if I do that, I'll know that at least one piece of this content will go viral. And that is going to give me a lot of followers, which is going to motivate me further to keep creating more. So that keeps growing, because first couple of pieces of content is not going to work. Similarly, I'll keep doing it on LinkedIn. My personal style so far had been to not have any cadence because things just come from my heart. And I think I'll continue to do that. And over time, people will discover me because LinkedIn itself is a very good distribution channel, like I mentioned.
You're the AVP of Design in a company like Swiggy. Have you had youngsters come up to you and say, sir, will AI take away my job?
Yeah, a lot.
What have you answered?
Depends. At times I say, yes, it's going to come after your job.
When you don't like the person.
So see, here's the thing. Here's my belief, right? In any profession, magic happens in the top 1%. So it's like a pyramid. There are a lot of people at the bottom who aren't all that good. Then there are very few people at the top, and somewhere here perhaps is the top 1% or so, right? So magic happens in the top 1%. And I think nothing is going to happen to those people for sure. But if you look at this pyramid, certain bottom part of the pyramid is definitely going to get chopped. I'll give you one simple example, right? Like I said, I started creating content in 2020. Back then, there was a role called subtitles writer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, someone would just watch your video and then, make those SRT file in this timestamp. This is what he said and all. It was a manual job.
Yes.
And creators would pay 500, 1,000, 1,200 rupees to have someone to write subtitles for, say, a 30-minute long video. People use that service because it was a tedious job. And I don't even need to use AI. Today, even before AI became mainstream, tools like Premiere Pro had it automated. It would just look at the audio and transcribe it for you. What happens to the person whose sole specialization was subtitle writing? Gone. Unless that person was also into many other things, they would not survive in this industry, right? So it's that, what are you holding on to? What is your core skill? Is it something so mundane that a computer can do it better than you? Then you'll definitely lose your job. But if your job involves where you're actually using your creativity and it's not straightforward, doesn't go by the rule book, you're actually reasoning a lot and then proposing a solution or building something, it is tougher for a machine, AI, to take that job up. And that's what top 1% of the people are doing in any profession.
The top 1%, advice to the youngsters on how they can get to that top 1%, be it a corporate ladder or a ladder of content creation?
Be a student all your life. Stop trying to project yourself as an expert too early in your life, because that kind of plays with your head. You feel that, hey, I know it all. I don't need to learn something. Be curious. Yeah. If you do all these 3 things, you will figure things out. You'll always have the hunger to go deeper and then keep asking, why is this like this? Why have we been doing this? Why not that? You will start questioning the status quo. You will start questioning the rules that many people blindly follow. And then one fine day you will see that you are able to reason why the rule exists in the same place. You will not just know the rule, you'll also know how to break it. That's when you're broken deep into it. And at the top 1% is all about working on deeper problems and non-straightforward problems.
Great advices there, Saptarshi. Incredible insights, incredible conversation, deep. But the next and the final segment of our podcast is going to be all about fire and quick answers. It's time for the rapid fire.
All right.
And a little birdie tells me, and what I've heard from Saptarshi in the last 1 odd hour, it's going to be full of fiery answers.
Okay, let's see. I'm not spontaneous, but let's see. I'll try my best.
All right. Should creativity serve culture or should algorithms serve culture?
I think creativity should serve culture, and once that happens effectively, algorithms jhaak maar ke piche aayenge.
Most underrated skill for 2025 or 2026 that no one is being trained for yet?
I'll tell you two. Number one is communication skills, because in this world of AI, you are essentially communicating with a machine just like you would do to a human. I think that's missing in a lot of people. They fail to articulate and communicate their thought, their head out. That's one skill. And the second thing is going deep into anything, beyond surface level. We have a lot of people who are into surface level. You want to get into the top 1%, right?
What's the most toxic part of design culture in India right now?
Toxic part. It's that a lot of people believe or think it is easy and that it can be done really fast. Boxes ही तो बनाने हैं, text ही तो डालने हैं, image ही तो डालने हैं. They don't really understand the process behind it and how much of thinking has got into ensuring that that card actually does the job for your users.
Would you rather lose all your past videos overnight or lose all your future content ideas overnight?
I would rather choose to lose all my past videos overnight.
Elaborate why?
It's because, the past videos are already consumed. People have seen and probably gotten benefit out of it. And some of the past videos, things which were shot, say 3 years back when I had started out, may not be all that relevant today. Some of them are, but many of them may not be. I might have made updated versions of that.
I agree with your answer. Plus, there's a loophole in the question. You're just losing the past videos, not the followers. So it's fine.
Okay, I didn't consider that.
Exactly. Which design tool or app you just can't live without?
Figma.
Quick pick. Early morning brainstorming session or midnight creative jam?
Midnight creative jam.
Not a morning person?
Not an early morning person, but yeah, I reach office by some 10 after darting through 1 hour traffic.
The Swiggy campaign or design project you're proudest of?
Oh, there are many. One of the recent ones that I can think of is Snack by Swiggy. I really had a lot of fun working on that.
Most overrated piece of design advice you keep hearing all the time?
Overrated, like design is not just about how it looks. Sure, everyone knows that, but design is also about how it looks in addition to every other thing that we talk about. But that advice kind of makes it feels that aesthetics is not important, which I disagree with. Aesthetics is as important as functionality and every other thing that people talk about.
If LinkedIn and Instagram shut down tomorrow, where would you share your content next?
People would invite me to go and give private sessions to them.
Private sessions? No, only LinkedIn and Instagram are shutting down. The stages will all be there for you, Saptarshi.
That's private. That's
100,000 people are there.
Somebody would have flown me down to deliver a talk. Sure, I mean, not a private, but yeah, closed doors events, sure.
Before we end it, I know I asked you about an advice to get to the top, but one final question, advice to a youngster who is looking to kickstart their content creation journey, who are still stuck in the midst of the dilemma that you picked. You created both a corporate journey as well, a content creation journey as well, a dilemma that a lot of people have picked on the other side. They have just moved forward with content creation journey. Somebody who's in the middle of that dilemma, what will your advice be to them?
You mean the quitting job versus not quitting job?
A part of that, and B, how can they actually become good content creators?
For good content creators, I would say, begin with creating above average content. Don't think that, I need to make this viral or something. Just make above average content and be consistent, at least for 50 to 100 pieces of content, video or text or whatever it is. And like I said, at least one of them would go viral, which will get you a lot of accolades, could be in terms of likes, followers, and that will motivate you to keep going forward. And regarding the other thing, yes, figure out the right way to monetize. There are a lot of people who help you do that. For example, I'm really bad at asking for money. I'm really shy asking for money.
From clients, you mean?
From clients, say anyone. So I never do money talk. I have people who do it on my behalf. And I make sure that, they get the best rates for me. right? So if you're one of them like me who do not know what your worth is, how much you can charge and all, get people's help. They'll just take a small cut out of your income, but it's definitely worth it.
Your favorite design creator?
Myself.
Your second most favorite design creator?
Okay. That's a tough pick because, I like a bit about a lot of people. Favorite creator for me would be people from where I can learn something from. And I learn a bit of things from different people and they're not necessarily design creators. For example, I think you know Chris Do. I really like how he sells and talks money, which I'm not good at. I just mentioned in a bit, right? I like him for that part. Then there's a designer called Anik Jain. I really like the kind of logos he makes, right? And then there's Ansh Mehra. Ansh was an intern in my team and I can't feel proud to see what he has achieved in the field of content creation on YouTube. Right? I really like the way he teaches, right? And then if I go beyond, I really like the way Shah Rukh Khan carries himself.
Everybody loves the way Shah Rukh Khan carries
himself. I don't mean what he does in his movies. You should watch his TED Talk.
Yeah, same.
The
His
self-deprecating humor, the way he's actually saying right things, but in a way that makes it entertaining. I really like that. I really love vocabulary of Mr. Shashi Tharoor, although he's not a content creator, but yeah, I get inspired from a lot of people who are not necessarily from design background.
Last question of the rapid fire. One income or an event that made you think I've made it as a creator, keeping the job aside.
From a money point of view, I think one collab that I did where I got a 7-figure amount, that really made me feel, man, this is big.
7-figure for one collab?
One collab, but not just one deliverable. There were more than one. So yeah.
Definitely made it keeping the job aside. Saptarshi.
But like I said, it doesn't happen every day. So yeah.
Saptarshi, what a delight it was to have you here and talk to us. As I said, great insights, great conversation, some really fiery answers for the rapid fire as well. It was such a delight. Tell us in the comments what were your favorite moments from the podcast. How was the chat for you?
It was wonderful. I think I really had a great time chatting with you. I love the energy you have.
Thank you so much. Energy. He has a great one as well.
I was trying to match you.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share the video ahead and subscribe to ABCD of Money for more such content. This is me, your friend Korak, signing off.